2, 3, 2, 1. I'm rolling. We're going. Can you hear me?
Hey buddy, hey everybody, welcome to the podcast that is never game, set and match for the Red Hot Underdogs. We're always on the losing end, the short end of the stick, and that's the way we roll here.
Yep, it wasn't easy. Truly, you called me and you just said, can I do it now? And I'm actually in Queensland and I'm at McDonald's on McDonald's free Wi-Fi, but we got to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I got a million excuses not to do this, and you know, it's tennis. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. We do have to do this now. I'm actually going to start off with the women's tennis. We're going to talk about Djokovic chasing his enormous 25th major, if you can believe it, if he can finally get there, which is incredible. But last night we had a victory to Elena Rybakina, and it was an absolutely amazing match. She literally grabbed victory from the jaws of defeat.
Yeah, she was down. She'd been broken, but she won Wimbledon. It's not it's first time in Australia, but she's won one slam before, right?
Yeah, this is the second major that she's actually won. She won Wimbledon in 2022 and now the Aussie Open in 2026. So it's been a 4-year hiatus, but amazing. She was down love 3 in the third set. The momentum completely going with Sabalenka, and to come back from that kind of deficit in the last set is incredible. You also factor in the fact that 3 years earlier, she lost the final to Sabalenka at the same tournament of the major. So there's a 4-year gap between majors. There's a lot going through your head. To stay composed enough to win after that is amazing.
Didn't she win the last Wimbledon one, or she won it 4 years ago, are you saying?
She won Wimbledon in 2022. This is Rybakina.
Okay, I thought she won just last year, so it's been a while.
No, it's been a while. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So, you know, it's just incredible just to have that kind of composure in those kind of stakes, to be behind like that. I will say something. Her demeanor was always ice cool throughout the course of the game.
Yeah.
Usually when you lose a point or people get frustrated, she just never, ever looked tight or lost or disgruntled, even down love 3 in the third set. So that was quite amazing.
I see her as like, that's more of a, you know, not being rude, but a Eastern European kind of stoic, emotionless woman, you know, like right,
yeah, I agree. So she plays under the Kazakh banner, the Kazakhstan. She's originally Russian. Sabalenka's Russian, but she switched allegiances.
Why was that? Are you allowed to ask why?
Oh, mate, I don't know, but she did, and she's flying.
Yeah,
she's flying the Kazakh flag. So Rybakina actually won 6-4, 4-6, 6-4.
People shot our yellow car.
Yeah.
How are you?
Hello.
She heard the word shot, and she said people shot our yellow car because we've got bullet holes in it. You know those stickers?
Mate, you know what?
Yeah.
I've had something just happen to me.
What?
Mia's crying her head off, so I might need to stop the podcast.
I'll press pause. I'll just press pause. We'll see if it... Let me press pause, see what happens. Okay, pause it now.
Thanks. Bye.
I have to hit the record button twice. So we just recorded some stuff and we missed it. But what we said was that we said that... What did we just say? We said that she won. She was ice cold in her victory.
Yeah, composure.
Go. In the game, you know, 3 down. Yeah. Is she screaming? Is she?
Yeah, oh, mate, I might have to do this later. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Bring her.
Oh.
Just bring her on for 5 minutes. Bring her on. We'll sum it up. Bring it on. Bring her on.
Oh.
Alicia, quick, come here. Come have a look at this baby. Come have a look at this baby. Okay, look at this. Okay. You want to see a baby? Do you want to see a baby?
Where's the dummy? Just 2 seconds. What did you do?
I can't see.
Yeah, well, Drew's coming. Hey! And funny enough, we got to talk about the same thing we talked about last time, which was just, it was an ice cold performance. It was an ice cold victory speech. And that just comes down to her controlling those ups and downs of emotion, right?
Yeah.
And also,
Are we back on, are we?
we're back recording. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing. She had ice cold composure throughout the whole course of the game. Even when she won, it was like she won the Dubbo Open. She just walked up to the net like another day at the office, and I kind of liked that sense of humility.
Yeah.
It doesn't bode well with everyone. You'd be extremely forgiven to think she'd be doing like 40 cartwheels and acting like a pork chop because she just won a major.
Yeah.
99% of people would, but she's just like, it was in round 1, first game, but it wasn't.
You know how, like, you see Federers and Jokers, and they control their emotions throughout a final, and when they win that main, that main winning set, right?
Yeah.
Point, they drop to the ground, their eyes full of tears, they rip their shirts off. There was none of that. No,
I think that sort of harkens back to her Eastern European roots.
Yeah, cold.
Originally from Russia, but now plays for Kazakhstan. For her, it's just business as usual.
Yeah.
You did mention to me at one point that the speech wasn't particularly outstanding or inspirational. I don't think it needed to be. She's that kind of player whereby she's not necessarily particularly an extrovert. She's just all about tennis.
You know what?
And
the fact is, she's a star.
Oh, absolutely.
Why doesn't her management realize that she could just a few lessons and say a few things and win the hearts of millions of people? Do you know what I mean? She could have, thank you, Australia. I love the Kangaroos. You've all, but like I know she said the cookie cutter stuff. Thank you, Azarang. She just need to practice a speech 2-3 times before that moment and be told what to say. I mean, it's politics, I know, but
look, I know, but again, for her, I just don't think she's that kind of person. I don't think she really cares about pleasing the masses. For her, it's all about tennis. She's a very sweet girl. She's not arrogant by doing it. I think it's just her personality. It's all about tennis. She's an introvert by nature, but she does have some really impressive stats of late. She's actually won 9 of her last 10 matches versus top 10 opponents.
Yeah, wow.
And won 20 out of her last 21 games. So, she's really on the rise, and she came into this as the 5th seed, and Sabalenka was the 1st seed. And one thing we don't mention, or a lot of people haven't mentioned, is the fact that she beat the 1 and 2 seed, Sabalenka and Swiatek, 1 and 2 seeds, in order to win the whole thing. So if anyone deserves it, she does.
She deserves it. All right, mate, let's move on to something that is so early in 2026, we're barely February, and this probably will be one of the biggest sporting events this year, and that's a big call. We got Winter Olympics this year, we got rugby league, but Djokovic in a grand final, huge. One word, Drewy, huge.
Yeah, look, this is absolutely amazing. Somebody of Djokovic's age who's 38 should not actually be making major finals. We've been talking about the Red Hot Underdogs podcast for the longest time.
Yeah.
If only he could make a major final again. We didn't think he could do it at this age.
No.
We thought he'd be expired, but he has. And he's got the chance to win his 25th major, which is absolutely amazing.
And hasn't it changed? You know, this, like, it wasn't long ago, Djokovic was the villain.
Yes.
Okay? He was a villain chasing down Fed and Nadal, you know.
Yeah.
And now, who is the hero? Who does the people want to win tonight?
Djokovic. You know what? I'll tell you something. The common narrative and the common saying you often hear is, if you're the hero, you live long enough to be the villain.
Yeah.
For Djokovic, if you live long enough to be the villain, sometimes you can eventually be the hero.
It's true.
That's exactly what he's done.
I know you just said that, but I was actually thinking of saying this in this podcast. I don't know, for the past week. Mate, mate, listen, look, we're doing this. This is important.
Absolutely amazing. You know what?
I think this very well-behaved little baby and Alicia's screaming in my ear.
I think a lot of the kickback for Djokovic early on in his career is that there was a lot of support for both Nadal and Federer, and I think a lot of fan bases got a little bit snarky that this other kid on the block came along and started to interfere with their legacies.
Yeah.
Because Djokovic and Nadal were the media darlings and the fan darlings. And a lot of people didn't like it.
Media. But now,
and Djokovic didn't give a shit. He just said things and did things the way he did them on his own terms, irrespective of everyone else.
Nobody was better. Like, if you looked at, I know it's been a topic, this podcast, but, you know, post-match victory speeches, nobody could do it better than Feds. Like, with close call coming in for Nadal second, but Djokovic was not as good as that. But he is he is better than what we heard last night, you know.
Oh yeah, but
and
you know what?
He's not good at winning the crowds too. Like in his speeches, he's not.
But to be fair, I don't think Djokovic was all about winning the crowds either, because they were against him anyway. And if anything, I think he overachieved in post-tournament speeches because he didn't need to be as nice as what he was to them, or be as articulate or elaborate as much as he could, because for the most part of his career, he's had Team Nadal and Federer and everyone else against him, apart from a few supporters like myself who have really loved watching him and support him from the past and from the start. But look, to put things into perspective, Djokovic turned professional in 2003, 4 months before Carlos Alcaraz was born. So there you go. And he's still going for his 25th major. That's amazing.
Do you think Djokovic could have beaten Sinner in that 5-set phenomenal match if he didn't have an easy run, you know, like...
Oh, look, it all comes down to could have, should have, would have. Unfortunately for Djokovic, there were 2 walkover moments within the tournament. One's against Lorenzo Musetti and the other one against Jakub Mensik. Musetti won. Mensik, he didn't actually play the game. He just went straight through the next round. Musetti, he was down 2 sets, 6-4, 6-3. He was winning in the third set 3-1 before Musetti had the injury. So kind of fortunate there. But in saying that, no one can complain if he wins, because if he does win, he would have beaten the first and second seed in order to win the tournament. So maybe it helped in these little breaks, but sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. Sometimes you get the rub of the green and sometimes you don't. But to make it at his age is amazing.
And my next question is, do you think he can win tonight?
My heart says yes, my head says no. I just think that Alcaraz, amazingly, is 22 years old with 6 majors. That is incredible. So he's playing at such a high level and at such a young age, and physically there's so much less wear and tear. You've got to remember, Djokovic turned pro 4 months before Alcaraz was born.
Yeah.
that is countries and mountains and oceans worth of wear and tear and damage on his body.
Yeah.
So I just think that at this point, it's a huge achievement to make the final. I am not going to count out Djokovic. It would be phenomenal. I think we'd even do an episode just based on his 25th major win, almost, because it'd be that much of a phenomenal achievement. But my head just says Alcaraz at this point, based on his youth and his fitness.
Alcaraz hasn't dropped the set, and if he beats Djokovic tonight and he doesn't drop a set, Federer did that, I think, in 2007. So it's been 20 years since someone's cleaned up the Australian Open without dropping a set. You know,
the other point
I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if Alcaraz does that. He beats Djokovic in straight sets. Unfortunately, I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either. But what I find amazing is here you've got Djokovic, a 38-year-old man, against Alcaraz, who was 16 years his junior at 22. He holds a 5-4 head-to-head lead over Alcaraz. This is like a guy who's meant to be expired, meant to be retiring, but he's like the Terminator. Against Sinner, Djokovic's 5 wins, and Sinner's won 6 head-to-head in that one. So, like, he should be nowhere near footing it with the 1 and 2 players in the world at 38. It's just, it speaks volumes to the phenomenal narrative and athlete and greatest of all time tennis player that Djokovic is, that not only is he competing with these guys, but he's potentially on the verge of his 25th major at the age of 38.
How often, here's my next question, do you actually get to see an athlete play in a grand final at any sport who is a greatest of all time?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's writing new chapters. He's jumping new levels.
Drew, not long ago, we did the greatest of all time athletes, and Djokovic was in there.
Yes.
And here he is tonight. And
correct.
And I, you know, unlikely he'll ever be in this situation again. You know? But like I've said that before. But here he is. Here he is. You know, like, it's huge. This really is seeing the greatest athlete of all time in his sport compete in the biggest of the, for me, the biggest of the 4 slams. Okay. It's just incredible. It's hard to put in words how big this is.
It's amazing just to be making the final at this age. Like, I've got to be honest, here in Australia, we wet our pants if one of our men's tennis players makes a semi, let alone makes a final. And this guy's doing it at 38. We ride our hopes on De Minaur, and with no disrespect to him, he's our best at the moment.
And mate, he is good. Let's face it. I know he got smashed by Alcaraz, right? But up until that match, he was hands down like the best player for anybody he faced. You know?
Yeah, but with Australian tennis, I say don't get too excited. We're still a long way off winning a major. We got Kyrgios, who I believe is much better than De Minaur.
It's over.
But it's over for him. When I say much better, he's got a lot more talent. The problem is he's always injured, out through discipline. He just can't get his shit together or get out of his own way. As far as De Minaur is concerned, he's got some alarming stats when trying to hopefully win a major. Against Sinner with his head-to-head, he's no wins and 13 losses. Against Alcaraz, no wins and 5 losses. He has had a win. Had a win over the GOAT. He's got 1 win and 3 losses against Djokovic. So against all 3, he's got a total of 1 win and 21 losses. So, I mean,
it's not going to happen.
I'm all for supporting the Aussies and flying the flag and playing, you know, land down under. But to be honest, we're still a long way off.
Yeah.
And it's what's interesting is how people are like, oh, Djokovic is well in his twilight, which he is. But this is a guy when we're talking in his twilight who's expired because he's not making finals and he's 38. But he's still making semi-finals at 38.
On to the very top.
And to be
Drew,
perfectly honest, I
Drew,
hope
do
he
you
wins
reckon
tonight.
Alicia could climb to the very top of this playground? Look,
Yeah, I think so.
picture. Look. You see if you can do that. Okay.
Yeah, I've got my money on it.
And Drewy,
You know?
I reckon you can't climb
Yeah.
to the top. Let's go see that. Okay, let's go.
Have a red hot go.
Have a red hot underdog go.
See if you can climb up to the top, and we'll see if Djokovic can climb up to the top of the Aussie Open tournament tonight. It'll be a fairy tale victory,
Yeah,
like of enormous proportions.
enormous proportions.
Yeah,
Proportions.
yeah. It's been a good tournament.
I thought that was my next kind of topic to say, what are some of the interesting points and stories we've had through this tournament.
Yeah.
One that springs to mind, I don't know if you saw good old Coco when she lost Smash a Racket, which and there was a lot of talk that, mate, look at me as the perfect little quiet little thing. And Coco's, frustrated, lost the match, walked off, and and these cameras just follow you everywhere. And what does she need to do? Does she need to go to a dunny cubicle to break a racket? Is that where we are?
Oh, look, I don't mind it, to be honest. I'm in one of the minorities. It shows that she cares.
Yeah.
A lot of people like this vanilla pre-packaged good sportsman person. I love John McEnroe, and he used to have massive outbursts.
Yeah.
It shows that they care. It shows a point of difference in personalities. We don't have to have all of these vanilla great sportsmen who say all the right things at all the right times coming off a conveyor belt all the time.
Yeah.
I quite like it. I don't mind it at all.
And what about
I'm probably in the minority.
another one is that Erika Osaka, from Japan, and how when she beat, who did she beat? Was it she beat?
Are you talking about Naomi Osaka?
Naomi,
You're talking about Naomi Osaka.
Sorry, Naomi Osaka.
Eric. Okay, different.
When she beat, I can't remember who. She was told that she was distracting, mid
right
her opponent's serve. And but she wasn't told that, didn't know, and then said, apparently I was making noise, and she rubbed the crowd, kind of didn't like it, and it was yet another awkward interview by her.
But you know what though?
Yeah.
I'll say this, amongst what the crowd thinks, what the media thinks, all the negative narratives that could be said on people who are spoilers or do things to put people off, the great ones, the absolute great tennis players block out all of what the media thinks, what the fans think.
10 minutes.
Beautiful. Any distractions, the great ones just go to hell with it, and they get on with the job. And some of them even learn to adapt. Some of them practice playing against people who grunt, playing against people with awkward, off-putting movements. Some people practice for those scenarios. The great ones practice for it, adapt to it, and block out the noise.
I just thought of this too, like it's a coincidence or maybe irony or something, but Osaka's first win in a major was against Williams. And if you can remember, Williams threw a hissy fit during that, and Osaka was the one that was like, had to, remain,
adjust
on Oprah.
Yes.
And Oprah, and she was like, said to Oprah, oh, you're told in tennis just to ignore that stuff. Like if your opponent's, complaining about, sun, the moon, it doesn't matter.
Just get on with it.
Just get on with it. Just like let them have their hissy fit. So so I mean, maybe she was right. Maybe she wasn't told stop come oning when between opponent serve. you know. But
You
like,
know, look,
is there a time you're not allowed to pump yourself up? Like your opponent does a first serve fault. Are you allowed to say to yourself, "Come on," or you're not allowed to? Because,
of course.
that was it.
You know what? You know what? I'm sick of all the needy bullshit from people in society and people in the media.
Yeah.
Life is the good with the bad and adapting in between.
Yeah.
All of this horse shit of we got to be quiet at all time. We can't do this. We can't say that. You got to make sure that this happens. You got to make sure that those sandwiches are cut into nice triangles or squares, whichever way you like. I'm like, to hell with that.
Yeah.
You know, you just deal with what's in front of you, and the pros and the best ones do. In short, they don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about Rybakina, sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about Rybakina. She just gets on with the job.
Yeah.
She's down 0-3 in the last set.
Yeah.
Didn't care.
Yeah.
She's all like most people to drop their bundle. Oh, well, the tournament's gone. No, not for her.
Yeah.
She stayed ice cold, ice cool.
Ice cold.
And
ice cold.
And so it was. So it was. So, you know, like smooth operator, cool customer.
Yeah, yeah. So Aussie Open, it's not over, you know.
Yeah.
But like we were going to do an episode on it last weekend, but you know, babies and crying and you know,
all sorts of life
away. Do you know what I mean?
It does. It does. We're lucky to sort of putter our way through this one. Yeah. Like the truck is sort of managing to get to the station at the end, but we're running on fumes.
Oh yeah.
You get all these various obstacles, and that's life.
Yeah.
We're not professional YouTubers. We're just a couple of Aussie blokes looking for a second chance at life and trying to do a semi-decent podcast. 99% of the time, failing absolutely miserably. Yeah. But it's been a great tournament.
Yeah, mate. I might have to end it soon because this one, as you can see, is
no worries.
Well,
congratulations to Rybakina. She really deserved it.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I know we're meant to be neutral, but we're not on this podcast. Go the Joker.
Go the Joker.
Aim for 25. Bugger neutrality of podcast. Joker #1.
If the Joker wins, I think we've got to do a podcast just how significant and on his match. I really think so.
100%. Yeah. I'm going to look after this one, little Mia.
Yeah.
And you look after your one, Letitia. And until next time, have a brilliant day.
See,
go the Joker.
She's coming to say
goodbye.
Hey, Alicia, come here. Oh, now she's lying down. Come on, you're going to say goodbye to Julie?
Like when you wanted to cooperate, she's not cooperating. When you want to talk, she's jumping all over.
Oh, and I'm in Queensland.
It's pure, mate. That's pure Red Hot Underdogs folklore. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. When you want conditions to be right, they're not. When conditions are wrong, then they're perfect.
Yeah. 3 points. Go the Joker.
Go the Joker. Isn't that right, Mia? Go the Joker.
Go the Joker.
Have a good one, champ. Later. Bye.
Go the Joker.
Go the Joker.
Go the Joker.
See ya.
Conversations deep, no one's there.